I'm 32 male, work construction in Indiana, pretty average life. Not flashy, not rich, but I've worked hard for everything I have. Own my house, truck fully paid off, decent savings, good dog. I was with my fiancée for almost 4 years. We met through mutual friends, hit it off fast, moved in together a year later, and I proposed a year after that. I thought we were solid. Looking back, there were signs. Not huge red flags, but little things I brushed off. She was always a little too curious about what I had saved, what my credit looked like. She asked weird questions about insurance policies, but I chalked it up to her being type A. Honestly, I figured she'd just like have her ducks in a row. Big mistake. We were 6 days out from the wedding. I come home early from a job site because it got rained out. She wasn't expecting me. Her car was in the driveway, and I figured she was napping or watching one of her trashy shows. I walked in and heard her in the bedroom, talking on the phone. She didn't hear me at first, and I wasn't really trying to eavesdrop until I heard her say, "Just one more week and I get everything. Then I'm done pretending." I froze. She laughed after she said it, then said something like, "He won't even see it coming. I already talked to E about how we split everything once it's done." I backed out of the hallway and stood in the kitchen, heart just pounding. When she walked out, she acted totally normal, like nothing was going on. I told her I needed to run to the store. Instead, I drove straight to my buddy's place, sat in his driveway, and tried to process what I'd just heard. That night, I pulled up her shared laptop and started digging. I knew her passwords. I found months of texts with this guy. They weren't just flirty, they were straight up planning a post-divorce life. She was talking about how it's all under his name, so once I get my half, we'll be set. She even said she convinced me not to get a prenup. True, and I regret it. She was lining up a divorce cash out and already had a new guy ready to move in. I screenshotted everything. Messages, call logs, emails. I even backed up her audio memos where she was rehearsing what she'd say in court. She was planning to play the victim, say I was controlling, get the house, and then move in. She went to her bachelorette party 2 nights later. I waited until she was out of town, then got to work. I changed the locks, packed up everything that was mine. I had a couple buddies help me move my stuff to a storage unit overnight. Photos, tools, my dog, my personal documents, all of it. The place was stripped of anything with my name on it. I called the wedding venue. It was under my name. I had paid the deposit. I canceled everything. Left a note on the locked front doors for the day of the wedding. Event canceled. Asked the bride why. Next, I messaged everyone on my side of the guest list. Kept it simple. Wedding's off. She was planning something behind my back. I've got proof. Sorry for the short notice. Attached a couple screenshots. My side canceled their travel, and most of them were more mad for me than anything. Then I waited. Wedding day comes around. She's at the venue in her dress, all dolled up, expecting the whole fairy tale. Instead, she shows up to a locked door and a sign. She called. Her sister called. Her friends called. I didn't answer anyone. I had a friend drive by and snap a pic. She was screaming in front of the building, mascara running, bridesmaids looking stunned. One of them was crying. Another looked like she wanted to disappear. Apparently, she tried to blame me on the spot, saying I must have snapped. Later that day, she came to the house, banged on the door, realized the locks were changed, started screaming at the top of her lungs, said I was ruining her life, that I owed her this. Then she started crying, saying she still loved me, and that she was just confused. When that didn't work, she called the cops. 2 officers showed up. She told them I had gotten violent and threatened her the night before the wedding. I calmly showed them security footage from inside the house. She hadn't even been home for 2 days. I had texts showing where I was. GPS logs. The officers asked a few questions, then left. One even apologized for the trouble. She tried to flip the script. Started telling people I was emotionally abusive, that I had snapped from stress. But no one bought it. The texts I sent out had already done the job. A few of her friends even messaged me privately and said they couldn't believe what she did. 2 days later, I met with a lawyer. Since we weren't legally married yet, there was no divorce, but he told me I could absolutely file a civil suit for fraud and emotional damages. We compiled everything. Messages, emails, voice recordings, the whole playbook. The lawyer said it was one of the clearest cases of intentional emotional deception he'd seen in years. We filed. She was served a week later. She lost her mind, tried to get sympathy online, made cryptic posts, said she was being punished for falling in love. Tried to paint me as the bad guy. But screenshots are forever. Anytime she posted something, someone would pop in and ask, "Is that before or after you plan to cash out? Or did he help you write this?" But here's the kicker. He wasn't just some random guy. He was married, with kids. I found his wife through some digging. Sent her everything anonymously. 2 days later, she messaged me. "Thank you. I had no idea. I'm getting a lawyer." He ghosted my ex immediately after that. Cut her off. Stopped sending her money. Blocked her on everything. She was left without me, without him, and without a clue how to recover. In court, her lawyer tried to claim she was coerced, that she was having a mental health crisis, that she never really intended to follow through. We played a recording of her saying, "Once I get his stuff, I'm gone." Dead silence. We won the case. The court ordered her to pay me $65,000 over 5 years, covering the wedding expenses, emotional distress, and legal fees. She tried to appeal, got denied. Tried to file a restraining order to get out of the payments, also denied. The judge even warned her that any more false claims would lead to criminal charges. She tried a GoFundMe to escape financial abuse. That lasted 3 days before it got flagged and removed after people posted the court docs. Last I heard, she's living with her mom, working retail, still telling people she was betrayed. Meanwhile, I've rebuilt, got promoted at work, took a trip to Colorado with my dog, even started dating again. Nothing serious. Just meeting people who aren't looking to use me like a personal ATM. Every once in a while, someone asks if I regret not going through with the wedding. Not even a little. She thought she was playing chess. I was playing the long game. And when I made my move, I made sure it counted. Moral of the story? Trust your gut. Keep your receipts. And if someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Also, don't mess with quiet guys. We're not loud, but we're thorough. Hit that follow if you want to hear more real stories of people trying to pull fast ones and ending up face first in karma.